and gentlemen, we got a special guest up in the building, man. We got, man, the long time coming, had to get this brother on here, man. This is like when your family or when your cousin come over to your house during holidays. What up, boy? Man, what hop on some Madden? What hop on some 2K? What's good? What's good, man? Ladies and gentlemen, we got Charles Edwards up in the building. Come on, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. AKA Chiller.
Thank you again for having me. It's a pleasure, it's an honor. I've been following you guys for a while. I mean, what y'all doing with the podcast is amazing. Great getting at the interviews that y'all doing and asking the right questions, man. I'm just honored to be here. But you know, we're gonna kick it like play cousins, like brothers, like cousins. We're gonna have a sleep over at Granny house.
Right.
Come through that.
We're at Granny house.
Granny house, man, up the wrestling, playing games and stuff, man. Y'all stop. Y'all sit down now. You sit down.
Turn them loose now, God damn it.
One more time.
That was my granny's favorite line. Turn them loose.
Turn them
Turn them loose.
Turn them loose, man. Y'all hungry? Y'all want something to eat? Man, Shadow, what's up, bro? So real quick, bro, tell us where you originally from, and tell us where did the nickname Cheddar originate from, bro?
Okay, honest story. I'm from Houston, Texas, Acres Home, born and raised. You know, I got the name Cheddar in 8th grade. It's kind of incriminating. 8th grade dance. I found a camera, right? And it was like, and this was back in the early 90s. I found a camera, and it was like a $400-$500 camera back then. And I traded it for some cash and nicknamed Cheddar.
Nice.
8th grade. That's how it is. And then my name is Charles, so it only fits. So the Cheddar Ray, the first and the middle name. So since 8th grade, mostly all my cousins and my family, they don't call me Jay for Junior. They call me Cheddar Ray. So it's just crazy. It's just a name that stuck with me since the 8th grade.
Bad boy's a young hustler. Boy, Cheddar.
Now, I know along the journey, you know, I had a long radio career, and along the journey, my last stint at the last station I was at, that's actually where I first met you.
What, KTSU?
No, at Salem.
Oh, yeah. You did work in Salem, huh?
Yeah. You actually trained me my first day.
I did, huh?
Yeah. So just tell us about your radio career, how you got into that.
Okay. Well, I originally went back to college, TSU back in 2012. And, you know, my whole thing was to get on the radio. A couple guys and females was like, hey, you got a radio voice. You speak well enough to be on the radio. Why don't you try to do that? And I was like, cool. And at that time, my thought was the only way to get on the radio would be back to college. So I always wanted to finish college anyway. So I enrolled at TSU, went through the program, and luckily it was the communications program. But you have the minor. My minor was radio, television, and film, which that degree lumped everything in one. So I was able to get on KTSU 90.9 on air. I did the R&B show most nights on Wednesday, Thursday. I did the hip hop show on Friday nights, and then I did an after hours R&B from 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. Friday night, Saturday morning. So that's where the radio thing come in. And then, like I said, I had just got a gig at Salem, and people just started hearing about me. I had worked at 93.7 for like a month or two with Ron C on their show. So it was just all about radio. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about film. I didn't care about anything else. It was just, all right, I want to do the radio. But once we got into the program, you realize that the film go hand in hand, you know, so, you know, fell in love with film. So.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, don't it?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Yeah. You think one thing, I'm gonna stay in this lane, but then it just opens up the door to so much more.
Well, it's crazy because one of the ladies, I don't know, you remember Valerie from Salem?
Yeah.
All right, so she hooked me up with somebody. The first commercial I ever did, she hooked me up with somebody, Tom the Wolf or something like that. And it was I did a Taco Cabana commercial. That was my first commercial ever. But I worked on the backside of it, behind the camera, you know, production assistant. And she got me that gig. And I was like, oh, okay, I like doing commercials. And then I worked on a Adidas commercial with James Harden, Tracy McGrady, and DeAndre Hopkins. It's called Calling All Creators, and it was a big Adidas commercial, and we did that for like 2 days. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm about to do this film stuff, and then that just like went kaput for a couple years. So man, and then it's just like, okay, what do I do next? So that's where I was at after the radio stuff ended, the radio days ended.
Gotcha. So you would say that's the reason, that's what got you to follow up and to get into acting right there.
No, what actually followed me up, fast forward 3 years, I'm working at a car dealership. After all the radio days and all that's over, I'm thinking I'm done with that. I'm thinking I'm done with everything. I'm just gonna sell cars. It's good money. And what happened? I did a commercial that's still on my Instagram, and it only got like 400 views. But everybody was like, "Oh, it's funny. Yeah, you did good with it." And somebody sent me a link for Central Casting and said, "Hey, you need to go do background." I forgot who sent me the link, and it was like, "You need to go do background." So I applied for the background role, and I got it. And that's what actually got me into film, being a background extra on Emancipation.
Wow. On the massive, boy, I'm talking, shoot your shot and align yourself amongst the stars.
Yeah, so when I got the background part on Emancipation, it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. I got fired from my job at the dealership because they wanted me to stay and sell cars. And I'm like, hey, I'm only doing background stuff. It's not that, it's not that serious. It's just background. Yeah. I'm only gonna be gone 2 weeks. And they were like, well, you're gonna sell cars and go be in a movie. And I'm like, I can sell cars anyway. I'd never get a chance to work with Will Smith again. So hey, no brainer.
Yeah.
I definitely would have took that right there. Yeah. Will Smith.
Yeah, so my first movie ever that I ever did was Emancipation, and I started out as a background extra.
Nice. Now we know you've done a lot of work, in front of the camera, but I know you also do a lot of work behind the scenes. Could you kind of talk to the audience about just the importance of what goes on behind the scenes in those roles, just working behind the camera?
I mean, that's just like being in front of the camera. If you ask me, the world gets to see who's in front of the camera, of course. But if it wasn't for the people behind the camera, the people in front of the camera wouldn't get no shine at all. Because, I mean, from your lowest PA, because that's what I do, and that's going on the director, assistant director route when you're a production assistant. They take the butt of everything on set. Something goes wrong, it falls on the PA shoulders. And the thing about that is, although it's the lowest level job, it's also sometimes the most respected job at being a PA, because you got to deal with so much and you got to go through so much. And this person, camera department's yelling at you, grips yelling at you, the assistant director's yelling at you, this person yelling at you. You got to go through so much. And when you go through it, it just makes you a better person, man. I don't know how to explain it. It just makes you tougher, better. You know what I'm saying? That you can feel like you can do anything. So that's one aspect of it. I worked as a PA numerous shows, and that's how I'm able to actually stay in the loop. If I don't get a stunt gig, or if I don't get an acting role, I still have people calling me, hey, you still on your AD route? Do you still want to direct? Hey, come PA for a couple of days, get your days, or on this show, and go like that. So I'm like, that's how I stay in the loop. Another thing is I've done grip and electrical work. It's pretty hard, but it goes. You got to have the right lighting, you got to have the right floppies, and you got to have the right shade on the camera and all this. So the hardest thing behind the camera, I think, next to directing, is line producing, being in charge of the budget. The UPM. I mean, that's one of the production manager. You got to handle all that money. And with Emancipation, that was a $200 million movie or something like that. So just imagine if you the UPM and you spending $2 million a day on a movie. How would you feel?
I mean, all right, that's a lot of money. A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I mean, like I say though, but behind the camera, I mean, if you do your job right behind the camera, it makes you a rock star, not to the public, but to other crew members that see you. And although you work with this person on Emancipation, you might not see, or on this movie, you might not see them for a few other movies, but they might be throwing your name out there. Oh, Big Chris works good under this, so you need to get them on this, and Joffrey works good on this, you need to get this. And that's how I'm able to really just stay in by, just being good work behind the camera.
Yeah, man. See, that's what the people don't realize. That thank you for sharing that too. What goes on behind the scenes? People don't understand what all goes on that makes all of it work like a cohesive unit. It's a lot of stuff that goes on, and
And
people
I
don't
tell
know.
you this, I don't mean to cut you off. I tell you
You're
this:
good.
if you want to backdoor pause, get into the movie industry, that's the best way to go. If you're an aspiring
Mm,
actress, if you want to direct, produce, or if you want to try to be in front of the camera, your best bet, you want to do stunts or whatever, I would say, because this is what works for me. If you have a background, PA. I mean,
mm,
I would try to get on set any way possible, just so you could network. And most people call it hustling when you get on set, but you network. You get to talk to people. People see your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And that's oh, you're an actor too? Oh, you're a director? Oh, you produce? You write? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see numerous people get on like that by just being a PA and talking to the right person at the right time, and boom, there you go.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man. I hear some. Oh,
Networking is important. I was saying networking is important, and when you're on set and just making that impression with people.
Yeah, don't be overzealous and over. Hey, yeah,
Very
I do this, I do that. You gotta know when the right time to
pick your
talk to them,
moments.
because sometimes you talk to the wrong person. Yeah, I do this and this and this. I don't give a. Man, get off my set. Who do he think he is talking to me like this? I don't care what you do. We're making a movie, so I mean, it's all about the timing. You got to make sure the timing right and everything works out once you're hustling like that.
Yeah, man. I seen some moments, man. I'll be laughing on the side, like, dang, you showed it to the old boy off, bro. Boy, stop. I don't give a get
Yeah,
off.
all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I've seen people playing their music. Hey, you gonna listen to my song?
What? Oh no! When I worked at the radio station, I used to get that a lot. Even though it was just KTSU college station, and we had that one night where we played rap. Man, I used to be out to like these meet and greets and these mixes and stuff. Hey, yeah, you trying to? Hey, man, play my song, and you hear the song, and it's so much cursing in it. You got to bleep everything out. It's just like, man, it don't make sense.
Could at least got me the edited version.
At least, man. So real quick, take us back to on the set of Emancipation. Now,
Okay.
like you said, use the background extra and everything, but you still can learn so much from being a background because that's how we learn. Like you said, is you gotta get in there some way, some kind of way.
Right.
So tell us, your experience on it, and meeting Andrea and meeting everybody else. I know that was a crazy cool experience for you.
Man, it was love. So funny story is I thought me and my friends thought it was a joke the whole time when I got the email. So
Yeah.
I had two of my boys drive me to New Orleans to go take the COVID test. It's height of COVID.
Mm.
And when we go in, we go into the wrong building at first. And the people was like, yeah, this is not the right spot. I don't know what you're talking about. We've never heard of this movie or none of that. So my boys started joking on me. And it was like, oh, it's gonna be a long ride back to Houston. So right next door was the actual place, and we went in. So once I found out everything was cool, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Okay, let's go. So I get there, and we rehearsed a week earlier, and we rehearsed the enslavement part, the beginning of Emancipation. So we're
Mm.
there a week early before we're shooting, and they're putting everybody in place. And one of the ADs saw me, and he was like, I'm gonna put you up here on the railroad. You're gonna be our railroad captain. This is what you do. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm just extra. I'm just here. I'm really in my mind like scoping out how can I get on set and how can I stay and who I need to talk to and and just watching, peeping, you know what I'm saying, speaking when I need to speak, being at the right spot when I need to be at the right spot. And I went from background extra to a production assistant. They offered me a job, and from production assistant to stunts, all in my first movie.
Wow.
Come on now.
Appreciate you.
Come on now.
But it was. I know it was the height of COVID. We were only supposed to be there for 2 weeks. we ended up shooting the enslavement scene for like a month because of the whole COVID and people were catching COVID. And then there was 1 week where it was like we had a number of extras, like 400 extras, and I want to say like 100 extras called COVID or something like that, where
Wow.
we had to, you couldn't get out. You had to take your swab in the car,
Mm-hmm.
and once your test came back, then you can get out and go in. So it was a lot of challenges then, and then driving. Most people didn't know that I was driving back and forth from Houston to New Orleans every week. So I would leave Houston, say Monday morning at 1, get on set by 6, stay the whole week. We're in my own hotel room, stay the whole week, and then on Friday night after the shoot, I'll jet back out to Houston, come back, stay the weekend, which I'll be home Saturday morning, sleep Saturday, do what I need to do Sunday, and then Monday morning back on set to New Orleans. So it was a grind. It was trust me, it was a grind, but
Come
it
on,
paid
bro.
off.
No, definitely. Emancipation was definitely a great film. Y'all did great work on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it was funny because after being a background extra, you hear all these guys like, yeah, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna meet Will, and you got these guys asking them these like, I ain't gonna say the questions they was asking them because some of them just don't make no sense, right? So I asked him, I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, so what is your favorite episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Right? And he was like, oh, that's an outside the box question. While everybody else was asking for a job, asking for lines, asking for do this for him and do that. I asked him that. And he was like, and when he told me, I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, all right, what's your name again? And I was like, Charles. And he was like, all right, Charles. And I was like, all right, cool. The next day we get on set. Will was like, hey, what's up, Charles? And I'm like,
What?
yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? So it was like, all right, cool. So now I'm getting people to know my name, even though I'm just an extra. And then we're on set. Antoine Fuqua bumps into me on accident. All right. Now we had been there for like 2-3 weeks already. Well, 2.5 weeks. And he bumps into me on accident. And I had got cool with a lot of the extras and stuff. So we used to play a lot on set. I turn around and post up like, what's up? And when I see who it is, it's the director, my face goes like,
Uh-oh.
and he sees the reaction to my face. So he's like, what's up? I was like, huh? He's like, so he threw a little jab and whatnot. And he was like, hey, you fam, you need anything, just let me know. I said, all right, cool. 2 days later, he was like, hey, you want a job as a production assistant? AD wants to know if you want a job as a PA. We heard you have a degree in film. I was like, hell yeah, sure, cool. I got the job as a PA, and I did stuff that nobody else wanted to do. It was the middle of summer. Nobody else wanted to pass out water and Gatorade to the whole crew. It's hot.
Oh man.
This is Louisiana heat. So I did that, and it just hard work pay off. That's just like being in the right spot, right time pays off.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
That's
man.
good. Now, I can't let you leave without talking about. You recently was on a show, Parish, and you got to face off against Giancarlo Esposito.
You
Like,
gotta say his name right, because if you don't, he get upset.
Juan Carlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, he tell you that? Like, if you don't say his name right, he will get upset with you?
Oh, no, not really. But what I did on set, I didn't know it's a cardinal rule that you can't call characters while they're on one show by characters in the other name. So when I met him, I didn't know if I can go meet him or not, because he's in his green room, and they was like, hey, dummy, you're an actor now. You can go meet him.
Oh, yeah.
So I walked to go meet him. And when I walk in, I say, big brother almighty. So he just looks at me, and I don't know if he was acting or not. He just looks at me and was like, straight face, just, no, that's not it. And I was like, oh. So he gave me the unwritten rule that, don't do that, because people will break character. And now you got you thinking about back in the 80s, 90s and whatnot. But then after that, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing a line with you today. And he said, "Do you want to practice?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, it's only one line." Okay, so he gave me a few tips, and it was nice.
Dude, that's epic, bro. Like that is an epic. Like that is epic for him to give you that Gus stare. Cause we already know he was on Breaking Bad. He played
Gus
Gus.
Fring,
Yeah,
but
and they said his death stare is like is is epic. Like he just stared you.
trust me, on the show, I didn't even know. Like when we did the scene, so you got different angles that you
Yeah,
got to shoot, right? So that one scene that I was in, which was I thought was supposed to be my only scene. It was supposed to be
yeah,
that's the only thing I auditioned for. It was the only part that I thought I was supposed to have in that, or that I was known to have in that, was that episode. And it was just like, okay, you talk to he's gonna talk to you. Or yeah, he's gonna talk to you. And this is the line. And I'm like, okay. And after that, I got a call and was like, hey, we're gonna add you into the last 4 episodes, the remaining 3 episodes. And I was like, but his death stare, bro,
yeah.
his death stare, you just don't, you look at him, and then he actually helps actors out. Like, I'm not even supposed to say this, but he kind of helped me out to, because you have the 1 beat, 2 beat, then you gotta make sure you say line.
Mm-hmm.
He stared at me, and then he did his eyebrow up like this, and just.
I remember watching the scene. I was like, "Oh snap!" I was like,
Yeah,
Man,
but no, it was an amazing show, bro. They hired somebody from Zimbabwe, because the characters are from Zimbabwe. They
yeah.
hired someone from Zimbabwe to teach us the language, 2 hours a day for a month, which was cool. We got to do our lines in the native tongue, Shonai, and in the accent, which was cool. Um, Man, everything about that show, my first audition, my first role I ever booked, wasn't even trying to act. So it was just like, I'm just trying to find my way to get in as a producer or a director, or, get my films, produced. So,
Yeah.
and I got an opportunity now, if I keep going and stick to it, that it might happen.
Man, stick to it, man. You on your way, bro. And another, it was another story that you shared with me with Tommy Lee Jones. We saw the video with you and Jamie Foxx chopping up and everything, having a good old time. But it was another story you had me cracking up laughing with when you met Tommy Lee Jones on Burial.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to remember. It was something about how it was an anthill or something.
Oh, yeah. So test day, camera day, first day on set. I'm first team PA, right? So I got to deal with all the stars. I got to get whatever they need, right?
Yeah,
I got to get their water, their whatever they ask for, right? So camera
yeah.
test day, I got to escort Tommy Lee Jones inside of the stage. So he stops by the door. He's like, "Hey, what's your name again?" I was like, "Charles." He's like, "Oh, Charles, what's this on the ground right here by the door?" I said, "Looks like an anthill, because it's an anthill, right?" He said, "Oh," and right as I opened the door, this man starts kicking the anthill open, firing it. Just, he kicks the whole anthill open and says, they need to come do something about this, because somebody's gonna get hurt real bad." And in my mind, I'm thinking, the ants wasn't bothering nobody till you kicked it open. But as I opened the door, he has a loud commanding voice, and as I
Yeah.
opened the door, the sound stages is completely dark for the camera test. If you ever been on set for camera tests, they
Mm-hmm.
keep everything dark except for this one spot, so they can test the light on the cameras and see which lights they need best for them.
Yeah.
And everything was dark except for this one spot. And as I open the door and he says what he says, everybody immediately turns around. All you see is nothing but phone lights and flashlights, just like in that direction, running towards me. And they're in my ear, "Charles, what's going on? Is he okay? What's the..." So, I mean, but it's a bunch of funny stuff. I'd tell you another story about the whole burial, but it'll have to be after we start recording, because it's pretty funny.
Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, man, it's so many stories, bro, and there's so many. First and foremost, I gotta give you your flowers because, like, you getting fired
Appreciate
from the
you.
job and going forward from background to taking the experience that you have and applying it and being that that one person that ask a certain type of question, and being noticeable and being serviceable and putting in the hard work. Because we already know it is hard work. It ain't easy.
Nah,
These are stories that from different times of your life until you starting acting. Because everybody look at, oh, he did this, that, and that. It's a story behind everything and a challenge, man. And we just applaud you, bro. And thank you. So
nah, I
yeah,
appreciate you, man. I mean, everybody's trying to do their thing. Remember when I met you on Ick? I see you on Ick, and I'm like, oh, what? I
Yeah.
follow you on Instagram. What's going
yeah,
on? And I still talk to them guys. And in that movie, remember when I was back there doing what I was doing? When I
yeah,
hopped in the scene,
yeah,
so I get a call and was like, "Hey, once you see the movie, because they already did the cut and they seen it, and they was like, hey, once you see the movie, that one part you did, man, it's funny, because initially when I hopped up, I said what I said, and they was like, no, you can't say that, and you don't even have a line."
boy,
But it was so funny when they were like, you know what? And then I think I said something else. And then when I got the call, they was like, "Hey man, when you see Ick, you gonna love it." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I was just working electric on that, and people knew I was an actor, and they was like, they needed people, and they was like, "Hop in." I was like, "Cool, I'll do it." And that's another just something else that just randomly happened,
stories like that make the movie, man.
Yeah, it just randomly happens, and it's just. But now, yeah, I have a bunch of stories. I mean, even like different shows I worked on, because as of right now, so I just finished a Ryan Coogler film. Him and Michael B. Jordan is shooting a movie called. I can say the name of the movie, but I can't tell you what. So the name of the movie is Grilled Cheese, and they just wrapped last week. It should come out early or mid 2025, but it's gonna be an awesome movie. And we just finished wrapping that, so I didn't have raw. I did stunts on that, but it was pretty dope. We got to hang out with them guys for like a month and a half of shooting. So now I just finished that, so really excited about that, and just trying to keep pushing forward from here on out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, give us like one gem or one piece of advice that you can share with somebody that's just trying to get in the industry, actively in the industry, or someone just chasing that dream as well.
Two, right?
Mm.
The one that I learned for myself: find a back way in. If you can't normally get in, if you're an actor and a writer and you can't get in for a writer, they always need people to drive people set. And you just don't know. You get in a van with the right people, directors, you just think about it. You drive in a van and you get in the van with the director. You never know what the conversation the director might have, or catering. It's a story about a guy his name is Gator from Yellowstone. He was a cook, and he was on a cook on Yellowstone, and he cooked Kevin Costner a sandwich or something he cooked, and turns out they made him a cook in the show. So I mean, it's you got to find that other way in than just being an actor. If you've been doing it so long and it's not working, hey, you know what? Find another way in, because you never know. Somebody see you on set and hustling, that could be your big break. Now, as for actors, I found out, and what a few people told me, main actors, after being. So I tell everybody I get my acting classes from being on set, watching, like Will Smith. I got to watch Will Smith for 6 months, Jamie Foxx for 3 months, Lakeith Stanfield for 2 months, Tommy Lee Jones. I got to watch all these people in the short span of 3 years.
Yeah.
And a common denominator in each of them is saying, if you want to really get good, turn the TV off. I mean, turn the sound off. Put a show on. Turn the sound off. Put the captions on, and try to figure out what they're doing by their actions and by the captions, and then that'll make you a better actor, because you're only focusing on the facial expressions and the movement and all that. So that's two gems that I can share that I think actually works.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Gems on top of gems, stories on top of stories, man. Man, it's one of those things where we wish we can chop it up so they just keep the camera rolling. But we definitely will get you back on again another time, bro. 'Cause like we said, this is like family. Once you come on once, you definitely come on
back.
twice.
And I have my beard back, man. They made me shave for that movie, bro. So It's
Yeah.
set in the old days, so
Yeah, I saw that too.
I had to shave my beard, bro. So you know.
Yeah, I saw that movie too, real shot. But I couldn't.
Yeah, hey, when that movie come out, it's gonna be dope, though, man. Y'all gonna love it. I think y'all gonna enjoy it. And Warner Brothers spent a lot of money on it, so I know.
Oh, you better love it. Yeah, man. So,
Man, again, appreciate y'all for having me on. I mean, anytime, anything I need, bro, just DM me if y'all need to probably get a job on set. I mean, I got the plugs in New Orleans. Just let me know. I got you. I mean, anything that I can do to help out, just let me know.
Likewise, same. Same.
Go ahead and let our people know where they can follow you at.
Well, right now I really am mainly on Instagram, Cheddar Ray Fofo. That's my nickname in my neighborhood, so most people can find me there. IMDb is Charles R. Edwards. You can catch me in Emancipation. Briefly, you got to pause and be like, "Oh, there you go, right there." But I like to tell people AMC BET with Sacrifice season 2. I shot that with Paula Patton, Richard Roundtree, RIP. Clifton Powers, a bunch of people in that, but we're waiting to see when season 2 of that come out. I'm actually in 3 episodes of that. But Sacrifice Parish is the big thing. I'm in 4 episodes, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see me in that. No Snapchat. Facebook is the same. I mean, but as far as if you want to see me on the screen, that's how you do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Cheddar, man, thank you again, brother, for joining us, man.
Shout out Acres Home, Houston, Texas. Love y'all. Love my daughter, my fam. I mean, it's just 1 minute. I don't know when they're going to turn the music on. I don't know when they're going to say nothing else, but don't kick me off.
You good, bro? You good?